games, 10 NBA games. I'm sure that they're playing hockey somewhere. Not that I would know. Got to figure out a way to get hockey back off this show. But we will figure that out. I would way rather cover horse racing. Something fun, but that's besides the point. Got tons of premium picks. Our premium area, I think our premium YouTube show was another big success yesterday. I'm sure, I know Brian keeps track, so when we get him on here, we could ask exactly what happened. I know I gave out 2 winners yesterday. My one game got canceled, Oregon, which was a surefire winner. We can count that as a half a win because it was so automatic. Just kidding. But anyways, I came back with 2. I came back and did a special video with another winner. So yeah, I haven't missed a tournament pick yet in our premium videos. So I don't think. Maybe I did. Did I? I don't know. I haven't missed a lot of games. 8-2 in the first round for me. We'll bring the guys in, talk about this stuff together as a group. I just told them what it would take to how quickly I would get rid of them if somebody else would join me here. But that's a different story. Brian, I know you had a winning day again yesterday. We didn't get UConn home. We both had them, but that was to me that was the biggest disappointment of the first round, was not them losing, but me losing that bet. It was like I had them winning it all. I had UConn winning it all.
Well, I had Texas winning it all, but then I liked Abilene Christian yesterday, so I should just fade whatever my bracket picks are, and I'll make a fortune.
This is why I haven't done well in a bracket since I won it that back-to-back years. I have not even ever done well in a bracket because I'm more of a point spread guy. I've been 8-2 first round, and that's that's about as good as it gets. I know I'm sure there are guys out there that were 10-0 and whatever, but I wasn't one of them. Also, I gotta say, this Abilene Christian fan base, what a bunch of morons these guys are. I mean, what a bunch of jerk faces. I'm gonna call them out. What a bunch of idiots. I mean, these guys come over to my YouTube page because I picked Texas in one game and just criticize me like they know my entire life history and pick history or something. I mean, you want to talk about unfair, grotesque treatment. These turd balls from Abilene Christian, congratulations on your win. It doesn't mean that the rest of the world sucks because they bet on a different team. We bet on Abilene Christian on our websites all frickin' season, You guys probably just showed up for your own team just at the last second, right? I mean, I wonder what those Abilene Christian fans' stands looked like for the regular season games. I bet you they were empty this year. I bet you there was nobody in the stands watching Abilene Christian. I know there wasn't. There was nobody watching any games, so it was an easy call. But anyways, yeah, what was the biggest surprise to you beside UConn yesterday, Brian?
Well, I think the biggest surprise was Texas losing outright. I thought Abilene Christian would cover the spread, most likely, but I didn't see Texas losing that game with Shaka Smart. I didn't think that anything's possible, but I didn't think that was happening yesterday.
My biggest surprise was that I bet on Michigan. I had 3 other teams. I had 3 other games on my card, and they all won. But I gave out Ohio as my dog of the day instead of a premium pick, which is fine because people watched it and they won. Not that many people watched the dog of the day. I changed the cover and put me and Sam on the front, and since I did that, our views halved. So I guess people don't like actual dogs, but that's fine. I don't care.
I got one other one, a heartbreaker with UC Santa Barbara going up for a layup at the end to get the money line dog win for me, and it just bounced out. I lost it.
Yeah, I only had the points in that one. And also not putting in Ohio, not putting in Colorado, and there was another one too that got me. That was just like, man, I had all these. Yeah, there was another one. Gonzaga. That was so easy. Oh, my God. Instead of Gonzaga, I put Michigan. It was like, Norfolk's going to give them a run. No, they're not. It was exactly like we said on the show. Almost 100 to 50. It was exactly like that, and it was never close. It was never like, oh, man, Norfolk almost snagged the – no way.
What does Gonzaga have in the next round? I didn't even look.
Oklahoma.
Good. Well, that gives me a good play on Oklahoma.
It's called. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yeah.
That's what that's going to be.
Thank you. Come again.
Yep. Thanks for playing. We got some excellent parting gifts for you. How about you, Ron Romanelli? What was your disappointment?
Yeah, I'd say UConn. Because I was on
Outside
Ohio
of
to win
UConn,
that game.
we know that UConn are just dogs, right? Gravy sucking dogs, right? We hate them. Is there anything more annoying?
UConn,
Is there anything more annoying than like when a team is just bricking after brick after brick after brick like that? I mean, it is just like it reminded me of Game 7 of the Rockets against the Knicks NBA final. And I know you're too young to remember this, but the Knicks made it to the finals of the NBA finals in Patrick Ewing era, and they had John Starks and Mark Jackson were their guards, and they were lights out, man. And they got to Game 7 of the finals, and Starks couldn't hit a shot. And it was brick after brick after brick. It was exactly like watching that game. It was brutal. It was brutal. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all right. But, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think yesterday wasn't really surprising for me. I kind of saw where the upsets were going to come. I figured Kansas was going to pull away from Eastern Washington, but got to give Eastern Washington credit for hanging in there and having that 8-point lead at halftime, catching the cover. But really, it wasn't really a surprising day for me. I other than St. Bonaventure really not coming out shooting-wise, they really just fell flat. And UConn, those were probably the two more surprising games. And those were, 9-10 or 9-8, 10-7 games. So not too surprising in that way either. So just kind of a whole-hum day in March Madness for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, remember not to bore you next year. Rod, what do you got? I'll be in Vegas
For me,
next year, I
it's
think.
the UConn game, and just like you said, the St. Bonnies didn't even show up. They just had a bad night. It's one of those things.
Well, LSU has given a lot of teams a bad night. That game, I knew it was like I knew it. That was one that I crossed off. That I knew it was. I knew it. I knew it. It was like.
Those are the kind of games you like when you have the right team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Well, the thing is like, I knew from my video I was on the wrong team, and then if I give out a team in a video, I have two choices. One is to take down the video and reshoot, or to just cross it off the list because I have plenty other to work with. And on the show, I gave out LSU. Right? I said I changed teams here, so it's kind of like that's what I do. If I don't like it on the video, I change it here on the show. And then, the YouTube commenters will still come by and say, "He's lost." Like, yeah, watch the show, bozo. Watch the show. Yeah, it was definitely, it was definitely one of those days in the NCAA tournament, and there'll be more days like that. We know it. But today we got a great day, and we have 8 games. Everyone that's left, there's no more, they didn't deserve to be here like BYU. There's no, any of this other stuff. Everyone that is in this round has earned their place in this round. Some people had an easier way than others. But other teams, most of the teams here, you could say they have solidly earned it. And everything that's happened in the past kind of gets wiped out. You're back now to matchups. And I think that's where we are. So we can look at the early games. We'll get started. And there's some line movers already. A little bit of a line drop in the Chicago-Illinois game. The line had gone up, and now it's a slight drop. And then you have the line moving upward in that Texas Tech-Arkansas game. And Villanova, North Texas, the line can't decide which way it's going to go. It's kind of going up and down at the same time, which is really, really strange. And I think that game I think that's one of those definitive games, right, where it's like it's going to either go one way or the other. It's like there's only two ways that game can go. One is that North Texas comes in and they assert their will and do their thing, or Villanova's going to lay about 50. Going to beat them by about 50, and we've seen Villanova do that before to teams in the NCAA tournament. So it's kind of like we've seen both Villanovas, right? We've seen them fall flat on their face, and we've seen them do it. So it should be a good day of games. But let's get started here. Illinois, Loyola, Illinois. We'll just do 2 games at a time, or you guys want to go 4? Let's do 2 games at a time. There's 8 games. What's up, Brian?
No, you're right.
No, go ahead. Say what you want.
No, I was gonna say the 2 games. It sounds like
there's
a good
only
number.
8
I was
games.
gonna say 3.
There's only 8 games. People tune in the show to get picks. You can give a total if you have a other side, on it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't think anyone here is gonna be offended by a free pick. So we got Illinois against Loyola, Chicago, the kind of kickoff game, and then Baylor versus Wisconsin that afternoon. This is exactly how the round of 32 games have always been, with just a solo game early, a solo game in the afternoon, and then multiple games in the evening. So this is the way it's always been. Normally, that 12-10 game is Duke on one of the days. Usually it's the Saturday is Duke. But today it's, this year the tournament's different, and this year it's Illinois is the number 1. So, Brian, in either of these 2 games, 2 gems here.
Yeah, I really think Baylor could have been a premium play for me. They just barely missed the mark. I think they come in and assert their will over Wisconsin. I had Wisconsin in game 1. That was an easy win over North Carolina, but I think Baylor's a different animal. I think the Bears win this game by 10 easy. So I think it's a good, strong free pick. I know we probably differ because you're a Wisconsin guy, but
well, I'm just saying that if it was such a stone cold Baylor thing, that the books would probably have this one about 9.5, 10.5. You have a 23-2 team against a 18-12 team, and you have a 6.5 point spread. So the number actually is way to the light side, trying to bring in Baylor money. Anyways, Ron?
Yeah, I'm going to go to that 1-8, 12-10 matchup. I'm going to ride with Sister Jean there in Loyola, Chicago, take the points. I think this is going to be a really good game. Loyola, Chicago, we all know about their defense. They play really solid defense, and that was shown in their first game against Georgia Tech. Held them to 3 of 10 shooting beyond the arc. And they only gave up 1 offensive rebound in the whole game. I know Moses Wright was out for that game for Georgia Tech, but that's still an impressive feat nonetheless. If you play defense, you don't turn the ball over, you force turnovers, and you're good on the glass, you can compete with any team in the country. I don't think they're going to win this game, but I do think they fall inside the number. So I'll take the points with the Ramblers.
The Ramblers played one Big Ten team this year. They lost by about 150 points to Wisconsin. They were out physicaled in that game. And, when you have a team that's fast and physical like Illinois, not so sure the Ramblers hold up. I think they might need a few Sister Jeans to play out there on the court to play. And I'm not even sure it's going to help. I think, Illinois is having the look of a Final Four team of the number 1 seeds. I would say, just judging by their first round games, Illinois and Gonzaga clearly look to be the 2 best teams in this tournament. We'll see today. Rod?
Yeah, for me, the only chance Loyola has in this game is if they want to. Sure, Loyola's defense is tops in the country, but we've seen before that offenses can definitely topple that defense. And if they want to have any chance in this game, they are going to have to keep up scoring with Illinois. And they have. If you look, their last 5 games, they've actually went over the number. Three of the last 5. They're actually keeping up and scoring 70 points a game. If you look, Loyola hit 70. So for me, I'm going to take the over in this game. Give me the over 133.5. As I can see both teams getting to 70. I think it's the only way that Loyola's going to even have a chance to even hang in this game. Is they're going to have to score. They don't score to keep up with Illinois. They got no chance in this one. So give me the over 133.5.
I think Loyola's got some serious matchup problems in this game. I don't think they have anyone that has this. I don't think they have the speed here. I think that's going to be the issue. We saw it against Drake in the second game. But the thing that we know about Loyola, they have the number 1 ranked defense, and they're also number 4 in the nation in defensive rebounding, right? As Ron pointed out. But here's the thing about that. Okay, what number ranked would Illinois be if they played in that conference? Okay, these are the rankings that don't matter. Okay, the only rankings that matter that transcend conferences is free throw shooting. is the only one. Maybe 3-point shooting and free throw shooting, because what would Illinois' defensive rank be if they played in that conference? What would their offensive rank be if they were playing in Indiana State and Drake and Valpo?
Well, what I say is, when you look at like KenPom ratings, they take the numbers and they do adjust them in terms of strength of schedule. So like even if you're talented but you're in a really bad conference, you're not going to lead the nation in their terms of defense. So they're third in the nation in defensive efficiency based on the Missouri Valley Conference. So I mean that's saying they'd be third anywhere.
There's not one. They don't have one player that matches those two Illinois guys in that whole conference. Not one player, not one guy, let alone two on the same team. They're going to be run-out layups for Illinois, because that's what we've seen from them all season long against bigger and better than this. Illinois gets the stop on one end. They got guys that – how fast do you think he runs, the IO?
He's speedy.
How fast? Like, we never really hear this about NBA players. Like, you always hear it about NFL players, like their 40 speeds, right? How fast do you think this guy is? I mean, if he played in the NFL, right, and he played wide receiver, what number pick would he be in this year's draft? You think he would have had a shot at the Heisman? I certainly think so. It's like, I always wonder, like, guys, that would have played different sports, It's like, you always hear about, like, football players quarterbacks playing baseball or, something like that. But how about, like, you see these basketball guys come into the NFL that, like, never played, or whatever, and it's like Jimmy Graham just, like, tore him a new one, It was like, and he was like a backup on the basketball team, The guy from Marquette, remember, he plays in the NFL, and I forget his name, but he's on the Colts, maybe, tight end. Never even played football. Oh, and then you had the guy from Baylor, right? Their big guy played. He never played football. He played for the Cowboys. So it's like, you see it all the time, And but I don't think Loyola has anyone that can stay within a half a step of this guy. He's way too fast, and I think that his if you double him, then you're in double trouble, because everybody else can fly on that team too. I'm gonna guess Illinois is the fastest team in the country. I would put money on that. You set them all up on one line. You let them all run to the other. I'm going to guess Illinois has more guys that finish higher than most of the other teams out there. Super fast. The guy on Mount St. Mary's, the guy that's like 5'3", he was super fast. Fast.
Damien Chankui.
Super fast. Do you see? It was like, so I don't know if it probably predates you too, but like Spud and Muggsy, like those guys, they were like the same size like that. But they were super fast. It was like, you can be 5'3" and play in the NBA if you're that fast. It's like, it's unbelievable, right? But this guy, I mean, how many times have we seen this guy from Illinois? Io, right? Is it Io? I don't even know. Because I don't watch with the sound, right? So it's names I can't pronounce.
Io.
So he gets the steal, right? He gets the little tap, right? He's really good at that, right? He gets the little tap. He taps it, and it's like there's nobody else in the screen. It's like the other guys are chasing after him, but it's like they just give up, right? How many times have we seen it? And he's the one with the ball.
Right?
I don't know, man. I think it's I loved what Loyola did last time, so we know they can get into a tournament and make noise. If they win this game, if Loyola does win this game, it's certainly not out of the question. They're going to the Final Four. If they win this game, they're going to the Final Four. Mark it, send them. Punch your ticket. They're going.
The winner of this game goes to the Final Four.
Probably.
That's my premium pick for the YouTube show.
Nice.
Illinois has been my Final Four pick since we started the preview show way back in the beginning.
Well, thanks, Rod.
I have him winning.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Rod got one.
Illinois fans, that doesn't count.
Rod got one. I picked Miami. I picked Miami to beat Bama this year in the kickoff classic in Georgia. West Virginia, Syracuse. This is a good one. Arkansas, Texas Tech. People just ripping me on my video on this one. Arkansas fans, man, just don't want to get in the way of these guys. But the line is moving. Texas Tech money coming in. Chris Beard, man, in the tournament. Tough as nails. West Virginia, Syracuse, Brian. Either of these two?
Yeah, I think Arkansas, Texas Tech is a lucky penny coin flip to me. I can't get a feel for that one, but I do have a feel for West Virginia over Syracuse. I think West Virginia, they didn't close out the Big 12 schedule very good, but I think this team is built for a tournament, and I think my brackets suck, but I think they're a Final Four team. I don't think they'll have any problem with Syracuse to beat a San Diego State team that was a cream puff. So I'll take the Mountaineers, lay the points. Should be a nice, easy cover for you.
That West Virginia loss to Florida doesn't scare you a little bit?
No, I like the way West Virginia's built. You know, they gave Gonzaga a tough game. They only lost by 5. I think this team can. Syracuse isn't a world beater. They're away from, their dome. So I'll take West Virginia. It's not a premium pick, but it's a strong lean. I like it.
All right, I don't have a premium pick on the game either. I'll take the other side of that one.
All right. Good luck with that.
Wow, that wasn't. I don't think he was really wishing me luck there.
Syracuse is up to 4.5 now. Wow. It just should be scaring you off a little bit.
Yeah, actually, see, we're the opposite because when I have a team, see, I've handicapped the game when I have my bet.
You've liked West Virginia,
right?
too,
so I don't look at the line move. If I'm getting more points than I was getting, or laying less points than I was getting, that's a good thing. And I put more money on it because it's more within the bettable range than it was. It's deeper. It's a better bet now than it was. And in this tournament, we've seen a bunch of them go this way, a ton.
I think this game goes like LSU and St. Bonaventure. I think West Virginia just has the better athletes.
Than Syracuse. Than Jim Boeheim. Yeah, okay. Yeah, New York City's got terrible basketball players. Ron, I don't know where this comes from. You ever been to New York City and go to Washington Square Park and see the basketball court that they have over there on West 4th Street? I would say most of those guys, if they had the grades.
Today's a day of chalk, I think.
Well, then it's your day, Brian. You love the chalk. Ron, talk
New
some
York
sense
City has
into
those
this
athletes. I'm not sure you'd find Buddy Boeheim and Marek Dolezaj there, but
I bet you would. I bet you would see a Buddy Boeheim type there. I've seen it, on West 4th. I've seen it, But anyways,
well,
I got away from it.
I'm not too big on either of these teams in this matchup, but the method of beating the 2-3 zone that Boeheim puts out, you got to be able to shoot the long range shot, which West Virginia does pretty well, and you have to be able to offensive rebound. They're ranked 11th in offensive rebounding. For those reasons, Syracuse really bad defensive rebounding team, 340th in the country. I'm going to take a small lean on West Virginia laying the points, but you know what? I've learned so many times it's really tough to bet against Boeheim and the tourney, so this is one that I would watch out for. I'd stay away from if I had the choice, but I'll take a small lean with West Virginia.
And this is a tough game. I couldn't put a premium pick on this. It was too close. I like West Virginia. I like Syracuse. I had them both last round, and it's I had Syracuse on the money line. So who's going to win this one? It's coming down to the last shot. So for me, it's coming down to the last shot. I want the points. So you're going to give me 4.5. I'll take Syracuse plus the 4.5. And this one is what comes down to last shot for sure. I don't see any blowouts in this one. Give me Syracuse plus the 4.5.
Syracuse for me, money line. I don't see any no problemo. West Virginia really played like hot diggity dog poop down the stretch of the Big 12 season. They were not good at all, and they had a really good run at one point during the season. We know Bob Huggins can coach, but the thing that we have here is that I like teams that come in with a lot of momentum, and we saw momentum play a pretty good part in these first round games. But West Virginia, those back-to-back losses to Oklahoma State, a win over Moorhead just doesn't really convince me that they're out of that They lost to Baylor. They beat Kansas State, TCU. They beat Texas by 2, which wouldn't get it done here, right? They lost to Oklahoma. They beat Texas Tech at Texas Tech. So ever since that Florida game, they've been sketchy at best, a 500 team. You know, I like Syracuse here. I just think that Jim Boeheim is in his comfort zone, which is the NCAA tournament. This is where he's comfortable. And they said it during the ACC tournament, like right before the game that they needed to win to get in, that most people consider that first round game. It was like they were on the bubble even after they won the game, but it was like, yeah, the bubble for them is in, right? So it's like they talked to Jim Boeheim. He's like, I like our chances of getting in, regardless of what happens. It's like they said, has there ever been a coach more comfortable on the bubble than this guy? It's because it's like because he always gets in. But normally when it's like that, they normally do something. It's like they're one of those teams that you could basically stick in your Elite Eight, ish of your bracket almost every single time. And I think you can do it here too. I think West Virginia, Bob Huggins, it's either Final Four or bust, right? He's either in the Final Four or bust out. He's been busted out with way better teams than this. Way better teams. I like Syracuse on the money line here. Anyways, let's go to the next round of games. Rutgers against Houston and Oral Roberts up against Florida. Brian.
Call me crazy here, but I think the opposite of the day is going to be the Rutgers Scarlet Knights getting a money line win over the Houston Cougars. I am going to be betting the points with my bigger bet, but I am going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line. I know they're 5-5 down the stretch, Rutgers, and they haven't looked like the team I thought would be a Sweet 16 team at the beginning of the year.
Play on the board. I'm shocked you're there.
This line's dropped a point. Big bettors are on Rutgers. I'm with them on this one.
It's called New York money, but it's I would say that's the squarest play on the board. Anyways,
we'll see.
At least judging by the comments, I go by YouTube comments and what I see around the internet. Anyways, go ahead.
Holy.
Sounds like an airplane or something. Ron?
Can you stop at your house?
No, there's nobody outside.
Ron?
I was just checking to see if
Ron, you there?
But it wasn't.
Oh, I couldn't hear you for a second. Sorry. Yep. I'm going to take the under in that Rutgers-Houston game. I'm not too confident that Houston. I think Houston has obviously one of the better defenses in the country, but I didn't like the way Rutgers played in that first game. I know they got the win over Clemson. I just not confident enough in them to take the points, and I don't want to lay 8 with Houston. But I think the better bet, taking the under. Both teams kind of struggled periodically offensively. I did like Houston. They looked impressive against that Cleveland State team, won by 30 plus. But this is going to be really their first game of the tournament. Cleveland State wasn't a team on anybody's radar, so I think you're going to see both teams battling it out. 132, that's a low total for a reason. I think they're trying to bait you in on the over, so I'll take the under 132.
Rod?
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the under as well there, Ron. I think we got a defensive battle in this one. We're definitely not going to see a run and gun. Houston's defense is going to come to play and slow everything right down. So give me the under on that one.
I had Rutgers against Clemson also. Clemson's terrible away from home.
Clemson stinks.
Terrible away from home. They don't stink. They're just terrible away. At home, they're great. Away from home, they're just terrible. But I just struggled to put my harder money on a team that lost to Nebraska by 21 points, less than a couple weeks ago. And that's really where I struggle here. Is, you lose to Nebraska by 21. I mean, what if you have a bad day here? These guys are the type of guys that can make you really have a bad day. That's the thing about a good defensive team. Like we saw with Maryland yesterday against UConn, right? I mean, you D up, you can make somebody have a really bad day at the office. And Houston is the type of team that can make you have a really miserable ass day. We saw them do it to Texas Tech earlier this season. They had a bad day, man. It was like, who in the hell scheduled this at a conference game, right? It was like, it was one of those. It's like, who? It's like they fire the athletic director for scheduling it, one of those games. And, so I just think that, I'm less confident here. And I don't think that the Big Ten has looked really good at the top with Illinois. But I think outside of that, they've looked solidly mediocre, especially at this level. I like Oral Roberts against Florida. I think they beat them outright. This is the thing about the Gators. When this has been the thing about this Gator basketball team, not about the Gators in general. Are whiners, and Ron, you could take your earphones off. But the Gators in general, they're just the whiniest fan base. It's like Michigan on steroids, right? It's like Gators. It's like it's this ridiculous thing, right? And then when you go to their stadium and they get blown out of the water, they're all gone by like the third quarter, right? Because that's what happens. I've been there for it. And, it's always an excuse. It's always this, whatever. It's like, so this is what it is. We got the win in the first round, right? No one expected it. And it's like this Gator team, when no one has expected it, like the West Virginia game, like that first round game against Virginia Tech. And I would say the West Virginia game was probably even a bigger surprise than the Virginia Tech game. That's when the Gators get it done. When you expect them to get it done, when you say, oh, this is an easy cakewalk, or they have a fighting chance. The Tennessee game, the first Tennessee game, right, where I gave out the Gators in that one, right? And everyone was like, Tennessee, right? You didn't expect anything at them. And then the other times that they played Tennessee and people had like a mild expectation of them, it was just a slaughter. I mean, it was just a savage beatdown. I haven't seen a Florida beatdown like that since Nebraska woodshedded them in the Fiesta 58-14. I mean, it was just, it was just epic beatdown. And that's what we're going to see here from Oral Roberts do the damage on Florida. And they're going to go home. They're going to be crying. And then it's going to be, well, we didn't have Keontae. And
I'd like to see the ATS record of teams, 15-seed teams on their following game after a big upset. I bet you.
Sure, it's out there.
So
I'm sure it's out there. But generally, it carries over into the next round.
I looked it up. Outright, they only won 15 has beaten the next team in the next round. That was Florida Gulf Coast.
And what's the cover? What's the cover percentage?
Yeah, I couldn't find that.
Straight up doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That Florida Gulf Coast team was amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was an amazing run. But we've seen other teams high seeds beat low seeds, especially Florida. When you usually see the second round upset, it's normally against the team that wasn't considered the tougher of the two teams to get through. So it's against a team like Florida, who the line, according to Brian's line movement, should not even be here, right? Because it went right through zero, and Virginia Tech ended up favored in that game. Florida opened up as a 1-point favorite against Virginia Tech. I believe it went off. Virginia Tech might have even been a 2-point favorite in that game against Florida. So, according to Brian's line movement,
I like Virginia Tech.
According to Brian's theory, Florida didn't even win that game. It looks bad for them. Is what he would say. Looks bad.
I like Virginia Tech.
Looks bad for Florida. Well, I'll tell you what, it looks real bad for Florida today.
I
They're in
also
some serious ass trouble because these guys are the biggest ass slapping, praisers of all schools out there. These guys in Michigan, man, they're in the same category. They're that of the SEC. And
I think it's something personal with this.
Absolutely. It's 100% personal. 100% personal. Oral Roberts all day. Money line. No reason to get off that train. Oral Roberts, you send these guys shoot the three like no one's business. Florida defends the three well. These guys shoot the three like no one's business. And at the line, they do not miss. They just don't miss at the line. So if they can get to the line against Florida, which is not something that is their game because they shoot from the outside, but if they can get to the line, it's game over. It's game, set, match because they do not miss. They do not miss from the free throw line. And that is always a really nice thing to have in the NCAA tournament where They used to always say, Jimmy Nance used to always say, 90% of the games are won and lost at the line. And I think they are. The deeper you get into the tournament, they are won and lost at the line. And certainly the covers happen there. So we'll take Oral Roberts with the points. We'll put a sprinkle on the money line as well. And we'll just root against the Gators because we always do anyway. How's that sound? I know Ron Romanelli goes to Florida. It's nothing personal with him. I have tons of friends that went to Florida. And believe me, we have the same discussion. They know. They know. We grew up together. It's like, went to the Dolphin games together and the Hurricane games. A lot of them, they switched to become Gator fans once they went to Florida. Grew up a Cane, became a Gator. Oklahoma State versus Oregon State. Same colors. Villanova versus North Texas. This one, I think, could be the game of the day. It could either be the game of the day or the blowout of the day. It could go either way. Brian, any of these two? Rod, did you give your pick in the last one? Oral Robertson? Yeah, you did. You said it was low scoring. The Houston Rutgers.
The Houston Rutgers game, yeah. And then how can you got to stay on Oral Roberts and just keep riding with them.
Of course. You'd be foolish not to.
You'd be foolish to be laying 9 with the Gators. I'm sorry, but we're not chopping with 9. They're not covering 9. That's way too many points.
Maybe if Keontae was playing.
Then I would say the Gators chop.
But because he was the SEC player of the year, right, Ron? He wasn't just like
the preseason.
Right. He was the preseason SEC player. He wasn't just some guy, right? That the team was built around. So it's a makeshift team all year round. So they've had the excuse every time they lose. Like when they got blasted by Tennessee back to back. They had the excuse. The Gator fans love the built-in excuse. Wow. Rex Grossman had a bad day. It's like, oh man. The last Florida-Miami game I went to was the Brock Berlin when he had left Florida and then he spent a year at Miami as the quarterback. And Devin Hester was a freshman. And Hester said before the game, he said, I hope they kick it right into my chest. I'm going to run it right down the middle of the field. And he goes, and no one is going to lay a hand on me. He's like, these guys can't lay a hand on me. They kick it right into his chest, like the bulletin board material, right? They kick it right into his chest. Not a guy laid a hand on him. He was gone. And it was like, the place went nuts. And I think it was Frankie Gore with the winning touchdown. Anyways. Oklahoma State, Oregon State, Villanova, North Texas, Brian.
Yeah, no reason to get off of Oregon State here. They've won 4 straight games, 8-2 the last 10, and I've been making money with the Beavers lately. So, I don't love the pick according to the way the money looks, but I don't think there's any reason to get off the Beavers here. I think they can keep it within 3 or 4 of the Cowboys.
Brian's faded Oklahoma State all season, and then here he is on West Virginia, who Oklahoma State has owned this season, right? It's like, go figure.
You get on Oklahoma State because of Cade Cunningham. That's your.
I don't. It's not.
Crush.
It's not just him. It's not just him. They have everybody else. I've been on. I had Oregon State in the first round too. I had Oregon State all season, right? You guys know I have one team. That's my team, right? I have one team that's my team. I have a bunch of teams that I hate, and then I have just teams that we bet on, and that can vary. That can vary from minute to minute. Because I'll tell you what,
every day you pick the Cubs.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's 8 games on the board today. I'm betting all of them. I don't care. I don't care what you guys think. I'm betting every one of them.
I can pick everyone.
I'm betting every one of them. I already got 500 on every game. I'll be betting more. I'll continue to bet these games, and I'm not going to apologize.
You don't have 25,000 on a game.
What's that?
You don't have 25,000 on one of these games.
No, I don't have 25,000 on one of these games, or 10-cent round robin parlay either. But anyways, Ron, what do you think of these 2 games?
Yeah, I think these could be two of the best games on the board tonight. But in the North Texas Villanova game, I'm going to take North Texas in the points. I'm not sure they win this game outright, but I think this is going to be a real tight battle. I was impressed by Villanova. They shut down the haters. A lot of people had Winthrop winning that 12-5 upset, but Villanova took care of business. But without Colin Gillespie, I'm still worried about this team going further in this tournament. And North Texas matches up really, really well. They're a good three-point shooting team. We know they play defense. I think they have a stronger defense than Villanova. I think they keep this game close. This is their Super Bowl. I wouldn't be shocked to see an upset here. I'll take North Texas in the points.
That comeback by Purdue at the end to get it to overtime didn't scare you? Doesn't scare
No,
you?
because North Texas came out in overtime and slapped them around.
So be it. Someone's saying that that Oral Roberts Florida's off the board, but I'm not seeing that.
That'd be crazy.
Crazy things are going to happen. The line's dropping. I see the line dropping, but I don't see it coming off the board.
Maybe Florida has some.
Well, it's up to 9. It went up to 9, but I could see pressure on the 9. I don't know.
I don't see it off the board.
I don't see it off the board either. Hope not. That sucked with VCU Oregon.
Yeah, I'd have to add a play then after the show.
I added a play yesterday. Came on and gave out UCLA. That was fun.
Yeah,
that was fun.
That was
Doing
a
that video, I was
one.
like in here. I was in the studio anyway. I'm like, what the hell? Why not? Someone sent me an email. Do you have another play? I'm like, you know what? I do have another play.
You're a nicer guy than me. I might not have done that.
That's why I make the big bucks.
Yeah, that's true.
Rod, you like any of these games?
Yeah, for me in this spot, I'm gonna take Villanova. I think North Texas had a nice run. Here's where Villanova ends their tournament. Give me Villanova. They win by double digits in that one.
So Oklahoma State, Oregon State is the only game that I don't have a bet on today yet. Actually, it's the only one I don't have a bet on. I can't get there with one team or the other. I'll have to just keep digging. It's like you don't want to go against the hot team, you know. I think a lot of people think that North Texas and Loyola, Illinois are that team, you know, that's going to come up and bite someone today. But I really think it's Oral Roberts. I think they're barking up the wrong tree, and I think that you know, it's tough to. It's like I'll probably end up on Oregon State here, you know, when all is said and done. I just because you're getting the points in what's probably going to be a close game. We've seen Oklahoma State. We know what it takes to beat them. We know the teams that they've struggled against. It's TCU, right? Is the team. So I think Oregon State can do what TCU does to them. You know, squeeze him around and makes him super uncomfortable. And what they do is they push Cade Cunningham way beyond the 3-point arc. Right? They don't even let him get around the 3-point arc to do it. He's 10 feet beyond it. You know, it's like you want to shoot from out here. You might make a couple. He's gonna hit from there too, but he's not gonna make that many of them. You know, and they force everybody else to beat them. And you know, that's generally the idea here. That's what Texas did to him too. Is they tried to. I think TCU did a better job of it. Texas, they did it twice. So I think Oregon State can do it too, because we know the Pac-12. This is their tournament. This has been the Pac-12 tournament. They're the only conference, I believe, that doesn't have a loss, right? Of the ones that have multiple teams. Obviously, Oral Roberts Conference doesn't have a loss. Loyola, they do. Drake got handled, man. They got handled. Oof. If USC could shoot, man, that game would have been a 50, you know. USC was more disciplined. How about USC just throwing the ball out of bounds, like down the court, out of bounds? Why do they do that, like time and time again? They go for that long pass and just throw it like like the base of the backboard, that's like what they aim for. You know, it's like, let's throw it off the base of the. Who can hit the base of the backboard from the end line? You know, on the other side of the court. It's like, all right, your turn, right? It's like, why they run that play like constantly? I mean, have you ever seen more balls thrown off the end of the court than what USC did yesterday? And it's like the bricks from the free throw line. Like the first half was so close because I mean they cannot hit a free throw. It's like it is unbelievable. Anyways, Brian, what are you selling today?
I'll tell you what. Never had a losing March Madness in 11 years, and I'm off to a 6-3 premium pick start for college basketball. Go back over the last 4 combined seasons. I'm hitting 55% for $44,000 profit today. 3 college basketball, 2 NBA, and my Sunday Golden Ticket 5-pack for $50 at pickdogs.com premium picks.
The Golden Ticket. I got a golden ticket. Ron, what are you selling?
Yep, so far it's been a winning March Madness. Look to keep it going. I got my Super Sunday trio. You got my top 2 college basketball plays, and then I throw in my NBA play of the day as well. All 3 for $29.95.
Rod?
And for me, I've got Rod Supreme Sunday. And I got 6 college basketball best bets and 1 NBA top play. You can get over at Pick Dog Supreme Sunday, $39.99. Get y'all 7 plays.
So, I'm not big on the deal, and I don't coupon, right? I'm not like I don't have a discount code every week, love, right, or something stupid like that, right? I don't do it. But what I will say is that our premium YouTube is the best deal in the history of sports handicapping. Not just the best deal on our site, not just the best deal anywhere, whatever like that. Our premium YouTube, the $50 one, not the $30. The $30 one is great, but the $50 one is the best deal because the $50 one ends up even cheaper than the $30 one, right? So it's like the $50 YouTube premium is the best deal in premium picks, right? I understand that a lot of people that have bought the YouTube premium aren't people that buy picks. They're not, and they're also because they're not big bettors, and that's what's great. When I first started Sports Chat Place, 2008, I didn't have a premium area until 2011. I never sold a pick until 2011, so I never started to by selling picks like all the other sites do. Oh my God, we got to make money. How much money can we make? These guys all work with me. You ever hear me say, oh my God, we got to make more money. We got to make more money. Never, man. I'm all talking about how these guys can all make more money, and everybody that works for me, and that we can build things out and make more money that way. But it's never about me making more money or not making enough, and I don't really care. I got news for you. I have money. I think everybody knows that. I'm not saying it to brag. I'm saying it because we can afford to do $30 or $50 a month for YouTube Premium. It's like nobody else does it because they don't want to give you that kind of deal because they can't. So I would take advantage of it if I were you guys. I think that it's not a winner every day. There's been some runs that haven't been as good as others, but I think overall, it's been the best deal out there. I mean, how did we do yesterday? I won both my games. How about you, Brian?
I was 1-1.
Me too, 1-1.
I went 1-1, but you were still on the units because we took the Leafs on the puck line, which was a nice plus 150. So you're still up money.
And I gave my loser was UConn, and that was my game of the year pick. Instead of spending $30 on the website for one pick, you're getting.
So what does the record end up being there? So 1-1, 2-2, 3-3,
5-3,
5-3, and a puck line. So his puck line pays for all the lost juice, so you're plus 200 on that. So if you bet $25 a game, you paid for your month.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Right? Yesterday, if you bet $25 a game, you paid for your month yesterday. Because that would be, right, 5-3, and the $50 would cover the juice of, it would cover more than the juice. You'd be up $20. You'd be up a little bit. You'd be up
60.
You'd be up like $5 or something.
It's a tool belt item.
It's a tool belt item. I don't know, man. It's I'm just gonna say it's the best deal out there. It's such a good deal that I really hate it. But it's like
So 12.
There's two things about it.
12 and 4.
There's two things about it that I don't understand. The first being why not everybody takes advantage of it, and number two, the people that complain when one of the picks loses or there's a losing day or something. You know, it's like it's called sports betting. You know, it's called sports betting. And it's like you're not going to win.
Even if you find the guy on the premium picks that's hot, let's say Rod's at the top of the boards. I mean, even if you just bet Rod's picks,
right.
2 picks every day, you know, you'll be doing well with the money spent. So.
Exactly. I'm with you 100% on that. That was kind of the idea of it. All right, whatever.
That's my 2 cents.
It's my 2 cents. Brian's always trying to steal my money. My 2 cents.
Yeah.
Speaking of 2 cents, pretty sure the Pistons are playing today. What do we got going on in the NBA?
I think the NBA schedule's a little better today than yesterday.
Well, it's 10 games, so a lot of meat on the bone. Got the Miami Heat and the Indiana Pacers. We got the Houston Rockets, 4-point favorites against the Thunder Buddies. We got the Denver Nuggets up to 6 now against the Pelicans. With a lot of people jumping on my Mitch Pelican strategy. Pelican betting 101. Always take the other team.
That's not true.
Okay.
It worked, though, with the Blazers the other night. They won outright, didn't they?
Oh, it's worked 23 out of 41 times.
Yeah, we had the Blazers.
And the Celtics against the Magic. That's the afternoon portion of the schedule. Any of those, Brian?
Yeah, I'm licking my chops to get on those Houston Rockets and lay the 4 points. They burned me. I'm going to owe Mr. Tony Brown a dinner when I get out to Vegas, but I just think today's the day. I'm not worried about the outright win. I'm worried about the spread here. I'm laying the 4. I think you're going to get lots of Thunder bettors as the day goes on. I think the Thunder end that streak, and they also cover a spread. And I'm going to take Orlando Magic plus the points. I just think 8.5 is a little bit, 8.5 is a little bit too much against Boston. Orlando's been scrappy as of late, so I think they keep this one tight against the Celtics.
Got a few comments here. We got some guy complaining that he doesn't like our timing of the giving out the picks. He said we're 50 minutes in and didn't give out any NBA picks. So we have premium NBA picks and we have free picks at both websites. Plus I did videos on every NBA game on the board. So got plenty of places where you can get free NBA picks from us. Maybe watching the show might not be your thing. We tried to shorten the show. We tried to shorten the show. We shortened the show, and the views went way down. So I don't know. You tell me. What is the $50 package called? I believe it's called the $49.99 package. Is what it's called. I believe that's what it's called. The $49.99 package. I think it's called late with the late. It's called early and late or something. I don't know what it's called. My concern is missing it. You can't miss it. It's not. It's recorded. You can get it on the phone. You just go to the community tab.
Premium Plus Late Picks.
Premium Plus Late Picks is what it's called.
You can watch it at your convenience.
Yeah, it's on the phone, and you can watch it at your convenience. You will not miss the early show unless you just don't check it. You get notified too. You get notifications when it happens. I don't have to justify anything. The folks complaining should drop. It's true. I'm not a big apologizer, except when I apologize. Thing is that we always show up, you know. That's the difference between us. I always say that in the oh my God. Anyways. Oh. There it is. New shirt right there. The $50 package is my wife. Okay. No comments from anyone here. Who's up?
Me. Yeah, there's no way I can lay any points with especially 8.5 points with the Boston Celtics right now. I mean, they're just coming off a loss to the Kings by 11 at home. They only scored 96 points on one of the worst defenses in the league. The Magic, they don't impress me either, but they are coming off a big win over the Nets. I think they're going to be big sellers at the trade deadline, but before they do that, I think they catch one more cover for us. Both these teams are identical against the spread, both 17 and 20 against the spread. And you know what? I'll just take the points with the Magic. I think the Celtics win, but by a bucket or two. That's too many points for me.
I think I'm with you. I'm not laying 8.5. The Celtics team, they're dead to me. Dead until they actually show some sort of life. 18 and 23 on the year against the spread. They've done nothing but lose you money all year. I'll take the Magic plus the 8.5 in that one. And I'm not even gonna. I can't touch the Thunder buddies and Houston. Ooh.
Come on over here, Rod.
No, I can't do it. That's all you. I'll go over here where I see Denver kicking the snot out of the Pelicans. Give me Denver, double-digit win over the Pelicans there. Pelicans 5-14 on the road, 8-11 versus the number. Yuck. Give me the Pelicans. Give me Denver, double-digit win that one.
So you don't have to quarantine now if you're arriving in Hawaii. You just have to have all the certifications. Like, if you Google it, they tell you exactly what you need to not have to quarantine.
So I need to show a negative test within 72 hours if I fly there?
You have to show it at the airport, I believe.
Yeah, before you get on the plane.
Yeah, like a negative test or whatever. Anyways, yeah, the two tight ends that I was talking about, one was Rico Gathers from Baylor, and the other is Mo Alley Cox from VCU.
Oh yeah,
the two
Mo
guys.
Alley Cox. Yeah,
the two tight ends that I said never played football. they play in the NFL. Or I know Mo Alley Cox is still in the NFL. I don't know if Rico Gathers still is. But Mo Alley Cox played at VCU. So, I mean, we know he didn't play college football. Occasionally you get the two-sport athlete. You don't get too many of them. But, in college, usually it's basketball, football, and baseball, football.
How about baseball?
Yeah, you get baseball, football, and basketball, football. There's been some actually really interesting ones throughout the years. Charlie Ward, of course, probably. The one. Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, are the ones that you know. But remember Charlie Ward? He won the Heisman, and then he played for the Knicks for years. And then you have, who was the guy? There was a guy on Miami. There was a guy in Miami, who was it was Kennard Lang was who it was. He played for the Redskins forever, but he also was the starting right fielder on the Miami baseball team. So normally it's a guy who's a pitcher or a third baseman or something, but this was Kennard Lang was the defensive end for the Canes, and he also played right field who could murder the ball. And Miami was a national championship contender. So it's starting for them. It wasn't just novelty. It was this guy could play. He was a first-round draft pick in the NFL too. You get those two sport guys. Anyways, I'm on the Nuggets all day, twice on Sunday. I just love fading the Pelicans. It's just one of those things I just enjoy. Makes life worth living. You ever have a team you just really love to fade? I know for Brian it's Oklahoma State, but for me it's
not Oklahoma State, but I don't like Oklahoma State. I don't like them.
There's a bunch of teams you don't like. Oklahoma State. Anyone who plays Arizona State, Gonzaga.
I'm sure there'd be plenty of Gonzaga money line bets yesterday on parlays. That was such a big payout.
I don't even know if a book would offer it.
I'll take my Oral Roberts money line any day.
Lance does not like the pace. He's not liking the pace.
I like the quick pace of the other ones, but nobody. It was like you said, it dropped a little.
Len Elmore, who I think is a good announcement. I think he's probably one of those guys that some people don't like, but I like him. I love what he says. The way to control the pace is hit shots. So that's how you can. How do you control the pace? Hit shots. That will control the pace. pretty much keeps it very simple, right? Score points. You will control the pace. I don't know why you always try to change the show. The show's perfect the way it is. You hound on Bittler. Of course I do. What? We never get why you always picking on Brian ever since I started The Voice. Notice that?
So what's your tournament record so far, first through 2 rounds?
For my premiums?
Yeah.
8-2.
So you're ahead of me by a little bit.
8-2.
All right. I'm writing that down. I'm going to keep track here.
8-2 in my premiums, the first 2.
You're beating me.
Like a drum.
Kicked 6
your
and 3
ass.
to 8 and 2. I'd say I'm right
your-
within shout
Kicked your
distance.
tail in. Believe me, I would probably love to see if you had. I'd love for you to have had another win if it was UConn.
Yeah.
I bet I'm gonna guess of your 3 losses and my 2, my 2 are probably the same as we probably had the same team in those. My 2 yesterday. Oh no, you didn't have Michigan. That was just dumb. It was not only my worst pick, it was my dumbest pick.
Missouri was my
UConn. I don't know how they look at themselves in the mirror after that performance, to be honest with you. How in the hell do you get 9 offensive rebounds on one trip down the court and not get a basket? I mean, how is that even? It's pathetic. I know they're 18-year-old kids, but that was pathetic. We got the Brooklyn Nets, another team that Brian loves, against the Washington Wizards.
I'm licking my chops right here. I'm licking my chops.
Cleveland Cavaliers against the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors are favored by 7.5 points. These guys haven't won a game in 10 years. Detroit against Chicago. The Bulls, I thought that line was a little hot to the high side, but it's like, how can you get on the Pistons, right? Now it's at 3, so it makes it even worse. And then the Knicks and the 76ers. Any of those 4, Brian?
I got to tell you, I'm going to give these out in order of the way I like them. I think the Pistons +3 is a strong play there. They've won 2 in a row. They're not a good team, but I just see tons of people are going to be jumping on the Bulls there on the road. I think the Cavaliers getting all the points at home against the Raptors. I'm not going to lay 7 points with Toronto on the road. Not this guy. And then the Washington Wizards plus the points. They won 2 straight. I think they're a scrappy team. I think they'll want this game more than the Nets. I'm getting 8.5. I'll take that every day. Yeah. So Washington Wizards probably my top free pick in the NBA.
Ron?
Yeah, I'm going to look towards the 76ers and Knicks game. I like the Knicks on the money line. They just played each other not too long ago on March 16th. Knicks were winning that game for the majority of it, but just blew the lead late. That was on the road. Now the Sixers are playing the second game of a back-to-back, while the Knicks have had a couple of days to rest at home. Doesn't look like Ben Simmons is going to play. He didn't play last night. Even if he does play tonight, I think the Knicks beat the Sixers outright. I like them on the money line. I also like the Pistons getting the 3 points against the Bulls. Like Brian said, the Pistons are not a good team, but they are a good cover team. 20-17 against the spread this season. Bulls are a good cover team as well. This game just smells a Pistons win, maybe a Bulls win by 1 or 2. But I love the Pistons getting the points.
And for me in this clump, I'm definitely going to fade the Raptors. I'm not laying 7.5 points with the Raptors. So that's too many. I mean, the Cavs plus points in that one. I'm going to go the other way. I'm not laying with. I don't trust the Pistons. No thanks. I'll take the Bulls. I'll lay the 3 points with the Bulls here. And I agree. Give me the Knicks on the money line. Lay outright the 76ers. There's my NBA parlay. Cavs plus the points. Bulls lay the points. Knicks plus the points.
I don't think 20 turnovers is an excuse. I think that's just pathetic. That's Texas. How do I get the $50 YouTube premium? There's a link in the description of this video. If you look at the description, there's a link. I could also post it in there. I like the over in that Nets, Wizards. I liked it better at 245. I don't like it as much as 247. Neither of these teams play a lick of defense. I mean, they really hate defense. They don't even get back on defense. So I could see a track meet there in Brooklyn. What do you order at Nathan's, Ron Romanelli? What do you got at dinner? Chili dog? Chili dog guy? Or?
Yeah, I'm not really a hot dog guy.
Really?
You don't like hot dogs, right?
No. Never been a hot dog guy. Dirty hot dogs.
You call yourself a New Yorker. You a pretzel guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
How about the chestnuts at around Christmas time? The hot chestnuts.
Yeah, my grandparents still have the chestnuts. Yep.
Chestnuts roasting.
These are the things I miss about living in New York. Walking around, you smell all the food trucks. There's always something cooking.
And the garbage.
Not always. Not always. It's summer. New York, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
summer, New York doesn't smell pretty, man. That's for sure.
And it's hotter than even Florida.
The subway station, the West 4th Street subway station, speaking of the village, man, that West 4th Street subway station, the stench on a hot summer day.
Did they improve the garbage pickup? I know it's been bad lately.
I have no idea. Phoenix Suns, 10-point favorites over the Los Angeles Lakers. Portland Trailblazers +2 against the Mavericks. Brian.
I would do a slight lean to the Lakers plus all these points. It's not anything. Just something to keep me interested late at night. I'm gonna put $60 on it. I hate the Lakers, but that's just a ton of points. But I think the Portland Trailblazers are one of the best values of the day. You're getting +2 against the Mavs team that we just faded the other night and won with the Blazers. So
yeah,
I'm back on them +2.
I don't need a game to keep me interested tonight. I got 8 games tomorrow in NBA. I've got 12 in college hoops tomorrow. I mean, we got it. Tomorrow is like a Saturday afternoon. Tomorrow's like, another big day.
You don't like the Blazers?
I didn't say that. I always bet against the Mavericks, and everybody knows that, except when they're playing the Clippers or the Pelicans. For that, it's like, what if they're playing the Pelicans? Of course, we always bet against the Pelicans.
Not always.
Well, it's true, not always. I've taken them a few times and I've actually hit on them, but it's like most of the time. It just makes the NBA much more fun to bet against the Pelicans.
I'm such a degenerate. I'm sitting here putting bets in as I'm talking.
Nothing wrong with that. Put a little something on Oral Roberts' money line while you're there.
Nah, I don't think so. Okay. I did that in the first game. Now I'm jumping ship.
Yep. That makes me like them even more. I'm fading Bittler.
I dare you, fade me.
Actually, I think me and Brian probably have most of the same picks. I think that we have one game that's different. Rod, any of these games? You like basketball?
For me, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to take the Mavericks here. Yeah, I know Portland won the other day. They won by 6, but when you dig in the numbers, Mavericks are 7-2 ATS. So that's 9 weeks in Portland. Oh, you can laugh all you want. You can laugh all you want. The Mavericks are 6-0 ATS in their last 6 games. Well, it ain't close this year. They bounced back. So I mean, the Mavericks.
Stop laughing at Ron.
Well, the 6-2 ATS really is what sent me over the edge there. They're gonna get housed. McCollum's back. The Blazers at full strength. The Mavericks just traditionally you get 4 or 5 extra points.
It almost seems like it's too easy. That's the only thing that scares me.
Yep.
Well, no.
Go ahead. Jump on them Blazers and see what happens.
I am.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No problem.
Okay.
I will.
Cool.
Sorry, Rod, I can't pay you this month. I bet your salary on the Mavericks for you.
No, don't do that.
I booked. Don't worry, Rod.
Do that.
I booked your Mavericks action for you. I've taken your action. That Oral Roberts were up to 9 on this thing. I like it even more. Plus 343 on the money line for me. Nice. Go to the NHL. This is where I get to do my off-camera betting. Brian was just doing. NHL. 4 games. Penguins, Devils. Minus 200 on those Penguins. Value City. Hot diggity favorite. Penguins puck line. Lightning minus 140. Lightning. I wouldn't go Lightning puck line against the Panthers, man. That'd be a death trap. I like the Panthers on my hot diggity dog poop puck line play. Plus 1.5. Kings against Vegas. Oh, I'm not wearing the Vegas hat, man. We've been winning with the Vegas hat. Oh, man. Show. Oh. Vegas against the Kings and Nashville against Dallas. Wow, this is awful. It's only 4 games. It's still painful. Who do you like, Brian?
It's a super crappy card, but I'm going to go with the Penguins, but I'm going to lay the puck and a half. I just think normally I like to take the Devils and the plus money, but I just think they're really begging you to take New Jersey here. So I'm going to lay the puck and a half. And then the game of the day, the one I like the most, is the Florida Panthers plus money. I think they're 2-1 against the Lightning this season, and it should be a competitive game no matter what. But for me, I'm going to take the plus money in the Panthers and let the guys that bet Tampa take Tampa today.
Ron?
Yep, you are right. The Panthers are 2-1 against the Lightning. That's why I like them getting plus money. The implied odds say that the Panthers only have to win this game 44.4% of the time for it to be profitable. That's good enough for me if they beat them twice in 3 games already. They score a ton of goals against them. Maybe the Panthers are the Lightning kryptonite in that division. We'll see. But I think you're getting great value taking the Panthers money line.
And Rod.
For me, in that spot, you're definitely going to want to best free pick of the day here in the hockey is take the Penguins on the money line or on the puck line. Whew, we've never seen so many people on the Devils plus 1.5. 90% of the bets, 80% of the money on the plus 1.5. You're not getting a 1-goal game in that one. Penguins at home here, solid team. They're gonna pound the snot out of the New Jersey Devils today.
Pound.
I'm gonna even take it on the minus 2.5. You'll probably get some almost 2-1 in your money on that one. They're gonna pound the Devils today. And I'm going to go the other way. It's favorite city. You're going to take everybody's jumping on the Panthers here. I'm going to go the other way. Give me the Stanley Cup champs. On the money line, I'll lay the minus a little 140 there. I even sprinkle some on the puck line at plus 180. Wow. Penguins on the puck line, Lightning on the puck line. Parlay those two up. Huge money.
All right. Goes through the
everybody's on the dog.
parlay section.
Penguins, puck line. Lightning, puck line. Illinois, over 133.5.
That was quick today, Rod.
Yep.
Ron?
I'm gonna take the Knicks on the money line. I'm going to take North Texas getting the points. And I'm going to take the Orlando Magic getting the points.
Brian?
I'm going to go West Virginia minus the points, Baylor minus the points, and Rutgers plus the points.
Syracuse money line, Oral Roberts money line, and whoever's playing the Pelicans? The Nuggets. That'll be mine. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. And it was a long show, but I enjoyed it. We got some big line movements here in these NCAA tournament games. Illinois down to 6.5 here against Loyola Chicago, so the money coming in here on the Ramblers. And then you also have Oral Roberts up to 9 here against Florida. And what was the other one that I saw? That was a pretty big line move here. It was Villanova back to 6 against North Texas.
Houston 7.5, 7.
Yeah, Houston 7.5 and pressure. So, yeah, a lot of action out there. This line movement has not been spot on this tournament, though. Not even close. Most of it has been actually dead wrong. So don't fall into the trap. Anyways, have a great day, everyone. I will. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes with the premium, and of course, we're gonna try and act more professional tomorrow. Let's make it a winning